Welcome back in to GKW, Good Karma Wrestling. Gabe Nuts, O'Brien Rowitz, Jonathan Hood. We are excited today because we are joined by one of the hottest names in professional wrestling. If you follow all the PW, all those lists, his name's certainly on there. We welcome in Matt Cardona. Matt, thank you so much for jumping on, man. We certainly appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
So NWA Power coming up Tuesday, January 31st at the Knoxville Convention Center. It'll be a live edition of the show, youtube.com/NWA, if you want to check that out. We'll get to some of the NWA stuff here in just a little bit, but you've been on a really good run here since 2020 and kind of branching off into your own and hitting the independent circuits the way you have over the last 2 years. Was the success that you had via your YouTube show, did that give you that confidence that you would be able to go out and have the success that you've been able to have?
I mean, the YouTube show was an awesome time in my career, but, I didn't give a damn about proving anybody wrong. I wanted to prove myself right. I'm not bitter. I don't have this chip on my shoulder. I just wanted to continue to live my dream. And, not that I had handcuffs on in WWE, but I had no handcuffs. I would be my own boss, and I would sink or swim and just go after any opportunity I could. And the always ready moniker, it's not just a hashtag. It's not just my entrance music. It's not just a logo on my gear or a t-shirt. It's the way I live my life. I'm always ready for any opportunity. That's how I've lived my life, my career. And I'm still trying, baby. I'm not quitting.
Well, Matt, how's life for you right now? Because to be a hot name, not only the NWA, but anywhere in the world, where they say, I want to book Matt Cardona. What's that feel like for you personally?
Feels great. This is an awesome time in my career. 2022 was the most successful year of my career. I don't care how you define success. If you define it by accolades, money, by happiness, whatever way you define it, I am the most successful I've ever been in my career. But that was 2022. Can't live in the past, right? It's 2023 now. So what am I going to do to top 2022? That's what motivates me now.
We see the belt behind you, the NWA title. You're going to try and win it again next month. As a wrestling fan, when you look back on some of those accomplishments, how surreal did it be like, oh, I was the NWA World Champion? How crazy is that for you as a wrestling fan?
It was awesome. I mean, I respect the hell out of the lineage and the tradition of the NWA. Guys like Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Harley Race, Sting, Christian, when you go into the TNA days. So it was cool to be a part of that. But at the same time, the NWA, I feel like it's living in the past, and they need someone like me to bring it to the spotlight.
Yeah, and he's going to have that opportunity. NWA Enough Said pay-per-view. It's in Tampa, February 11th. Make sure you check out NWATix.com as Matt Cardona will go up against Tyrus to try to get that NWA championship back. All right, so it's not just you, it's your wife. Famous wrestling couple now. What is it like when you get the opportunity to wrestle with life?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's cool that, we have this job together where we're not together 24/7. There are some weekends where, she's doing something, I'm doing another thing, but it's cool to come together, especially in the NWA with the Cardona family, VSK, Brian Myers, Mike Knox. But, we are married to each other in real life, but we're not married to each other in our careers. So she can do her own thing. I can do my own thing. And it's fun to be able to, do our own thing, but at the same time, come together, and it fits so perfectly.
Well, Matt, so you made her an action figure. You put the video out there a couple of days ago. Were you disappointed? Yeah. She did not seem too thrilled, Matt, with her action figure. Like, were you hoping for a better reaction?
I definitely was hoping for a better reaction, and that figure is available at majorpodmerch.com. Yes, we make our own our figures, the Major Bendy line. So it was cool to put her in the line, and it didn't take much convincing. Actually, usually we got to get someone to sign a contract. There was no contract for it. I just made it.
So, Matt, tell us about the state of the business right now. For all your colleagues, men and women across the board in 2023, how would you describe what's going on right now in our business?
Best time ever to be a wrestler, 100%. I've been almost in this business for 20 years. I've been a lifelong fan. I mean, this is the most opportunity that is out there with all these different companies, WWE, AEW, NWA, all the independents, GCW, and now with streaming and the way the independents work now. If you were doing a show in New Jersey, 10 years ago, that was it. You might read about it in the PWI or something, but that was pretty much it. Yeah. Maybe like someone made a DVD and you saw the footage later on. But now with streaming, I do a GCW show in New Jersey. It's on Fight TV. the one I did where I beat Nick Gage trended #1 online over the UFC and the Olympics. So, the power of the internet's real. I've been saying that since 2011 when I became the internet champion.
You talked about betting on yourself. We talk about you a lot on the show as being the guy sort of setting that example of, hey, it might be a bad day when you're released from another company, but you can still bet on yourself. How much of an inspiration do you find yourself being to some other guys right now?
Listen, I can't put words in anyone's mouth. I knew that the day I got released, it was something I needed. I've talked about it before. I did not re-sign the WWE contract that was offered to me, so my deal was going to be up that August, and I didn't know if I was going to stay or go. And it was something that was eating at me every single day. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And the decision was made for me, and it was this instant sign of relief. That day, I had my new pro wrestling tee stores up. But it's unfortunate because there are some guys who were released that day and guys or girls who've been released after that who haven't done a goddamn thing. So that's on them. So as Scott Steiner says, I have no sympathy. You got to do the goddamn work. and if you're not going to do it, well, then you shouldn't be booked.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, again, you go back to 2022 to being a career year, but you're not going to rest on that. You want to go forward in 2023. Do you have goals? Do you have anything that you're looking forward to?
Number one, beat Tyrus. That's goal number one. Listen, Tyrus is a hell of a competitor, hell of a talent, right? I've known Tyrus for a long time. I think we met 2006, 2007. So, our careers have kind of been, together, separate but together, and now we're both here in the NWA. And listen, he's on Fox News. He's got that title, over his shoulder. That's incredible, right? The fact that he's bringing the attention to that title is incredible. But it's the National Wrestling Alliance, not the National Talk Show Alliance. You know what I'm saying? So Tyrus, he can wear it on TV all he wants. Is he out there making towns? Is he out there wrestling anywhere else? I'll answer the question. No. And it's not just Tyrus. The majority of the people in the NWA aren't wrestling anywhere else. What are they doing? I'm wrestling every weekend. The NWA right now, it's on, Power's on every week. But guys, we know it's taped in advance, right? So there are so many people who just do these NWA tapings a couple times a year, and that's it. They call themselves a pro wrestler. They're not. I'm wrestling every goddamn weekend. I'm working every day, whether it be promoting myself, doing stuff like this, or on the Major Wrestler podcast. I know that I will bring the most value to that championship. Tyrus on Fox News. That's awesome. It's great. But I will actually defend that title all around the world. Every single, independent I'm at, I'll bring it. But let's see what happens when it's me and Tyrus one-on-one.
Matt, it's great that you're on the show, but I want to know more about your merchandise. You mentioned something, you talked about your wife's earlier. Give us that latest merchandise that you have. Is it around you right now? Can you show us?
Oh, I'm always ready. Right? Major Bendy Series 3. Look, we got Effie right here. Major Bendy Series 3 right now. Available. MajorPodMerch.com. Look who it is. It's Colt Boom Boom Cabana, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Who else we got here? Oh, there she is. It's my wife, Chelsea Green, Major Bendy. We have Gangrel, but if you want the variant, you get the bloody version right there. MajorPodMerch.com. So,
okay, all right, that's what I want to see. And then the belts behind you, the championship belts. That's just so awesome, man. We see the championship belt, and then you have one over your left shoulder as well.
Yeah, so we have the Major Pod Championship, and this is the replica NWA title. I want to bring the real one home again, the title that I never lost. Let's keep that in mind. I was never pinned. I never tapped out. I was forced to relinquish it. I tore my bicep, unfortunately, and I came back in 3 months, less than 3 months. Doctor said 6 months. I came back in 3, and I came back for the NWA. I came back for NWA 74. I didn't want to miss another pay-per-view. It was bad enough I missed my own goddamn pay-per-view, Always Ready. I didn't want to miss 74 because, I'm not here to invade NWA. I'm not here to bring it to the ground. I'm here to bring it up and bring it to that next level. So anything I can do to help the NWA, I will.
You talk a lot about friends and family and being that tight-knit group. Saw you tweet recently, #RoadsToRumble. How much are you going to enjoy seeing Cody Rhodes get a chance in the Rumble this Saturday night?
I'm very happy for Cody. I hope he wins the whole thing. I think this is this is his time 100%, you know, and, you know, anything could happen. But I believe this is his time, and, you know, he deserves it. He's earned it. And let's see what happens Saturday.
But I want to go back to the injury for a second, because you say you come back in 3 months. How tough is it to rehab an injury when you're a professional wrestler? You know, you hear about injuries in professional sports. So, they just go to the team facility and they'll work with team doctors, and the
Right.
team is going to help them through that injury. When you go through something like you had to go through, and you're working for all these other independent promotions, how tough is that for you, the individual going through the injury?
Well, that's the thing. You know, my schedule was busier than ever because I didn't miss any bookings. I did all the bookings, right? I went to all these shows. I went to Australia because luckily, you know, Matt Cardona is a name, a personality, and and I don't think anyone goes to a wrestling show to see me actually wrestle. They come to see me get my ass kicked, to see me lose, to throw that middle finger in my face, and I love it. So I was fortunate enough to be able to make those bookings. You know, I have the Major Wrestler podcast, and then on my off days, I was rehabbing. So I was busier than ever when a normal wrestler would have, you know, had the most downtime in their career.
Lastly, I want to get your thoughts about the passing of Jay Briscoe. It's hurt us all as a wrestling community. We just want to know whether or not you got a chance to talk to him, wrestle him. What was that experience like?
Super unfortunate news, obviously. And I never wrestled the guy, and I barely knew him. Since I was released, I was doing a lot of independence. I saw him at NWA, saw him at Impact. Saw him at GCW. He was always so super cool, super friendly to me. You know, we almost had the major players versus the Briscoes. It just never happened. So that's super unfortunate. And man, what a tragedy. But I'm glad that the fans and fellow wrestlers are keeping his name and his legacy alive.
On a much lighter note, what brought you more joy in the last year? Getting married or riding Splash Mountain for the last time?
Oh man, we'll definitely get married. Splash Mountain, I did ride for the last time. I rode it twice last week, actually, and I rode on the last day. But the last couple of years, a lot of the things weren't working in it. They weren't fixing it, so it wasn't the ride that it used to be. So, you know, Disney World or Disneyland, whatever, it's not supposed to be a museum. It's supposed to change and be updated. So I can understand why people are upset it's leaving. I mean, part of me is upset, but it's time to update it and upgrade it.
Matt, we want to, again, check out NWA Power live show Tuesday, January 31st at 31st at the Knoxville Convention Center, youtube.com/NWA. And the NWA Nuff Said pay-per-view is in Tampa. If you happen to be down in that neck of the woods on February 11th, go to NWATix.com and see it. Sold out, so you can't even do it. Can't even do it.
Bitch out.
Matt Cardona equals ticket sales.
Fight TV,
yeah,
sold out.
Okay, then you just got to watch it. Fight TV. Yeah, Fight TV. See Matt Cardona take on Terrace.
That's right. So I'm very proud of that. Terrace and I sold it out, and it's going to be a match that you can't miss because the trajectory of the NWA is going to change one way or another. Either Matt Cardona is going to be the new champion and save the NWA, or Terrace is going to keep it, and that belt's going to collect dust.
Pretty much. I can't wait for you to walk onto that Fox set with that championship.
Imagine that.
What a real champion looks like.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Great idea.
Matt, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck February 11th.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.